everybody, and welcome back to Spoken English for Semester 1. Last week, we have covered syllables and stress, along with stress rules in words, as well as stress rules in sentences. This week, we are going to deal with rhythm, intonation, and pitch. First, rhythm. As we have already established in the previous course, rhythm in an English sentence is determined by stress. Sentence stress and rhythm are the music of spoken English. We have seen that content words such as verbs, nouns, and adjectives are stressed, and that structured words such as pronouns, articles, and conjunctions are not stressed. If you remember, we had the sentence, "Will you sell my car because I've gone to Germany?" Last session. And we have established that the beat is where the words are stressed. So, a constant beat is maintained over stressed words. Thus, we change the speed of the small structure words so that the rhythm of the key content words stays the same. So the duration between will you and because I have gone is the same. We say because I have gone faster, so it will have the same duration as will you, and then we keep the same rhythm in the English sentence. Now we move to intonation and pitch. All languages have their own distinct melody or music. This music of languages is called intonation, and it's something you probably don't even think about when speaking your native language. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice when you speak. Many times, it's just as important as your words in expressing what you want to say. It is mainly the use of pitch, which is what characterizes a person's voice as being high or low over an utterance generally longer than a word in order to convey extra information. In English, intonation and pitch are used for the following purposes: to indicate grammatical boundaries as in phrases and clauses, to show sentence types such as statements and questions, to manifest the speaker's attitude as in happiness, sadness, irritation, frustration, anger, etc. So, the main English intonation and pitch patterns. We have two. The first one, fallen. This is when your voice lowers its pitch at the end of the sentence, and it's the most common pattern in English. Use this for most regular statements and questions that are not yes or no questions. Second, we have rising. This is when your voice raises its pitch at the end of the sentence. Use this when you're asking a yes or no question or to express a variety of emotions. As in case by case, we start with statements. Consider the following sentence. I am inspired by my parents to be a better person. She thinks going to the movies is fun. I am inspired by my parents to be a better person. She thinks going to the movies is fun. Notice that in most regular statements, those which just state facts or information, not statements which clarify or emphasize anything, we use a fallen intonation at the end of the sentence. So, if you hear with me, she thinks going to the movies is fun. We lower our pitch, and there is a clear indication that the sentence is over, that there is a full stop. The second case is for questions. Consider the following sentence. Are you going to the movies with us tomorrow? Are you going to the movies with us tomorrow? Notice that for yes or no questions, we use a rising intonation at the end of the sentence. So when you say, "Are you going to the movies with us tomorrow?" This is a yes or no question, and there is a rising intonation. Next, we have the sentence, "What inspires you to be a better person?" What inspires you to be a better person? Notice that now that for most other types of questions, we use a falling intonation at the end of the sentence. What inspires you to be a better person? There is no rising like tomorrow, tomorrow, like earlier. Now it is a fallen intonation. Next we have, "You are very excited for your prom, aren't you?" You are very excited for your prom, aren't you? Notice that we use rising intonation on questions at the end of a sentence which require the clarification or opinion of our speaking partner. These are called tag questions. So, in tag questions, we use a rising intonation. Now for listen. Consider the following passage, and please pay close attention to my reading. When someone wants to register in a foreign university, they are first required to choose a specific one. Secondly, they have to register on the university's website. Then, the applicants are required to prepare the exact documents for application and admission. Lastly, the applicants might need to specify their previous school, the program they took, their grades or GPAs, and if there are any additional information, such as languages studied, instruments played, or sports practiced. Notice that, as in the case with speech in general, the high and low quality of the speaker's voice is used for a specific purpose. Before, we have discussed statements and questions. In this case, the speaker lists requirements for university admission. With the utterance of each item, the voice goes up, rising, as long as the last item is not yet mentioned. However, as soon as the last item or term is uttered, the voice will go down, fallen, showing thus that this is the end of the list. Next, we have expressing feelings in the sentences. "What a beautiful house you have here." "I cannot believe you're getting married next week." "You really bought a car that cheap?" Again, "What a beautiful house you have here." "I cannot believe you're getting married next week." "You really bought a car that cheap?" Notice that in high energy emotions like happiness, excitement, fright, and annoyance, along with exclamation and surprise, we usually use a rising intonation. The examples here can be joy, excitement, or annoyance, depending on the situation and context. Next, we have, "Yes, sure, the customer is always right." "Uh-huh, I am listening, Mom." "Oh, poor you." Again, "Yes, sure, the customer is always right." "Uh-huh, I am listening, Mom." "Oh, poor you." Notice now that boredom, sarcasm, and disinterest often use a fallen intonation. For example, the sentences here would sound very sarcastic when said in a low pitch. With the sarcastic, disinterested tone, it means that the speaker isn't actually excited at all. Moving to suggestion and command. Consider the following sentence. "Take some of my papers, Eva." "Take some of my papers, Eva." Again, "Take some of my papers, Eva." "Take some of my papers, Eva." Notice that in the first case, Suggestion needs a rising intonation. This latter makes the utterance sound friendly. While in the second case, command needs fallen intonation. It makes the utterance sound less friendly and more imposing. Now for contrasting between things. I thought she likes biology, but apparently she likes math. You should exercise every day, but I know you don't have time. Again, I thought she likes biology, but apparently she likes math. You should exercise every day, but I know you don't have time. Notice that in the first case, we use a rising intonation and place a stress on the two things we want to contrast. In the second case, we also use this rising intonation to point out things that seem one way but are another way. Next and lastly, informative function of intonation and pitch. Intonation and pitch can be very informative if used appropriately. They may be so informative that when used with only one word, it will convey the information contained in a whole sentence. For example, we have as in, what did you say? Next, we have as in yes. Thirdly, how delicious. Likewise, by using only the name of an individual with a particular intonation contour, we not only refer to the individual in question, but we also convey additional information relating to them. John, meaning who's drawn? John. And secondly, John, meaning is it you, John? John. So we use intonation, pitch, and rhythm to speak English properly, to convey a lot of emotions, to put stress on important information. So thank you so much for following the course with me today. As always, I have put YouTube videos. I have linked, YouTube videos for deeper understanding. I also have given you practice, as I always do. Please practice as much as you can, and I will see you in the next course.